I didn't know anything about cancer, like no one I knew had ever had cancer, and the first thing I said was, well, am I going to survive? Like, I had no idea what any of this meant. Hello. Hi. So my name's Gemma, and I'm 34 years old. I'm married. I'm originally from London, and I now live in Manchester. Having stage 1 ovarian cancer at my age, although I am fortunate that it is stage 1, I have obviously not been able to preserve my fertility. And I've also had to go into surgical menopause, which has been really difficult. I was initially diagnosed with womb cancer in July. And upon going to an egg retrieval, as I was hoping to freeze my eggs, they unfortunately found a separate, concurrent, synchronous ovarian cancer. I wasn't even entirely sure that I even wanted to freeze my eggs, but they said to me, why don't you just have a look and see if it's worthwhile? I was lying on the bed when she put the probe into the ovary, and she saw me flinch, and she said, are you in any discomfort? And I said no, because I wasn't. And she said, I'm just a little bit concerned about doing an egg freezing from this ovary because there's a cyst. And she said, it's complex. And I said, well, how complex? She said, it's solid, it's got blood flow, and it's bleeding. And she said, I don't want to scare you, but I think that your original diagnosis of just womb cancer might be incorrect. So the first thing was I was terrified, because with the womb cancer, I felt that even though it was a massive shock for me, I was told it was very treatable. There were options for my fertility still. When they told me I had ovarian cancer, I knew that my situation had changed, and I knew it had become more serious. So I sort of went through a grieving period, and I went through a shocked period, and then I also went through like a terrified period. I think what I'd like to share with women my age is don't just dismiss any sort of concerns you have relating to your gynecological health because you're too young. I was told this quite a few times, in that it would be very unlikely I have cancer because of my age, but obviously I'm proof that unfortunately it can happen to anybody, so we just really need to be aware. So I think in order for us to make any headway with catching ovarian cancer while it's early and while it's still treatable, we need to be looking at rolling out more C125 tests. For a simple blood draw, this told me more about ovarian cancer and more about what was wrong with me than 3 sort of very invasive procedures, many cameras. Unfortunately, when ovarian cancer is early at stage 1, that's where you need to be catching it, when it's inside the ovary and it's not grown out. But if we can't see it with scans, we need something to sort of somewhat complement it and somewhat get that diagnosis. I believe that the C125 test combined with ultrasound and scans is the way forward for us to get some earlier diagnoses, and therefore we could get some better survival rates and make some sort of headway with this disease.